Today we are going to do a couple things. We're going to get into our buck chocolate fever, but the first thing I want to do is a little bit of some word building. So we're going to look at some parts of words. All right, so the first thing I want to show you, we're going to look at this side only of my board here. So if I saw the vowel team AU, I think I'd know what sound to make. Do you think you would know what sound to make? It's going to be aw, right? So A-U, like, do you guys ever know the secret stories? If you guys talk to a secret story? Okay, so A and U, they like to hang out together, right? But they have a crush on each other. And so every time they see each other, they go, aw, because they're just like in love. So that's A-U. All right, now this one, I put a heart beside it because this one, we really have to know this by heart. This is, if you've never thought about this before, it might wreck you. So if you see a T and I together, it actually can make a sh sound. You'll see it. I'll show you in a word. Caution, vacation. Yep, absolutely. Good for you. Good for catching that. All right, so that's going to be our wackiest one. Now, O-U-G-H.
I know that one goes with rough.
Okay, it can go with rough, so it can make the uff. But what if I put T-H-R?
Rough.
Through, so it can say uff or it can say ooh. So this one can make multiple sounds. All right, very good. So you guys got those vowel teams down. I'm going to leave them for later in case we need to refer to them. But here's the word work that we're really going to talk about. So do you know what it's called when I take a letter or a group of letters and put them at the end of a word? Do you know what that's called?
What is this stuff?
An S. Starts with an S. So a letter or a group of letters added to the end of a word is called a suffix.
Oh,
suffix. So say that word with me. Say suffix. Right? Let's bang on the table. Suffix. How many syllables? 2 syllables. Suffix. All right. So a suffix is something we add to the end of the word. It can change the meaning. Sometimes it can even make a word change the part of speech. All right. So we're going to talk about a couple of this word. So all of these are going to be hooked onto words that you're going to see in the chapter we're going to read today. So O-U-S. So if I said, you need to be careful, you need to be cautious, right? That means you need to be full of caution, right? You need to be very careful. All right, I just used this one in a word. Did you hear me? What word did I use? You need to be cautious, careful. So meaning you need to be careful. Harper, what does that mean? I need to be full of
care.
Careful of care. So both of these mean very similar things. Now, L-Y. It's hard to kind of describe what L-Y means. Well, fly, that's really just a whole word for itself. But if I said, he is so happy, that's just an adjective, right? We're just describing the kid. But if I said he ran down the stairs happily, then I just described how he ran. So a word that gives me more information about a verb is an adverb, right? We're adding to the verb. So that L-Y does that. It changes like an adjective into an adverb, right?
I feel like I know what that
All right, we'll go for it. That's all right. I love it when people are risk takers.
Doesn't careful mean like 2 different things? You have to like care for somebody.
It could.
Like fully care for somebody, and like if somebody's like walking down the stairs and you're like running, and somebody like a teacher or something says, "Be careful."
Yeah, yeah, it could. Yeah, absolutely. So let's kind of talk about that. So we can kind of use it here. So that's when you're like comparing something. So if I said something was big.
It's the big S.
The big S. So what does that mean? What's different between big and biggest?
The big S is bigger than big.
Is there anything bigger than biggest?
No.
Yes.
No.
There it goes. Big.
Bigger.
Big S. So what's the max?
Big S. Yes.
So the EST, it's like it doesn't get any bigger than that, right? It doesn't get any better than that. It doesn't get any more fun than that, right? But we wouldn't say funnest because that wouldn't be right. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here for us, and we are actually going to put some of these words in a little chart. So when we have a plain old word, right, just a plain regular word with nothing added to it, it's called a base word. All right, so say that with me. Base word. All right, a base word is a plain word with nothing added to it. Do that with me. A base word is a plain word with nothing added to it. A suffix, on the other hand, is a letter or a group of letters added to the end of a base word. And we can code it with a box, like we could put a box around it to show that that's a suffix, all right? So I'm gonna give you a very special chart. Now this chart is gonna help us figure out base words, suffixes, and then when you put them all together, a base word plus a suffix, right, on the end, that's a big fancy word. It's called a base word. Well, you know what, everybody sit up straight and listen to this one, because you're gonna have to really use all your brain cells to say this word. All your brain cells. Can you sit up for me? Thank you. Derivative.
Derivative.
You did it so well. Sounds like Dorito a little bit, doesn't it? All right, so I'm gonna give you a pencil.
Derivative.
And I want you to listen, because I'm gonna say a word, all right? I'm gonna give you a derivative, all right? And this derivative is gonna be something out of your book. Let me look. Here is the word, all right? Ready? Listen to the word first. Careful. What is the suffix that we hear at the end of careful? F-U-L. So in the center column, that is where we want to mark our suffix. Put full at the end, at the beginning of this suffix column. How would we spell it? Full. Just F-U-L, right. Now, what was the base word? Care. Care. So can you put care in the base word column?
C-A-R-E.
All right. Now, when we put a base word plus a suffix, that's a derivative. So in the derivative column, let's put the base word and the suffix together and write the whole word. Careful.
How you doing that?
Yeah, this is pretty easy, wasn't it?
Oh wait,
All right. Care goes in the first column, because that's the base word.
And then full goes in the suffix, and then careful goes in the last one.
Because that's all of it together. All right, look at that nice cursive. That's very nice, Trin. All right, so as you're finishing that one up, Harper, I'm going to give the next one. So listen carefully. Listen for the suffix. Suddenly.
L-Y.
Suddenly. L-Y. You hear the L-Y? Put that in your suffix column.
I don't know how to spell sudden.
Okay, so let's think
Sudden.
about it. How many syllables do we hear? Sudden. So let's do sud first. I hear sud, den.
S-U-D-E-Y. I mean E-N.
All right, so I'm going to help you with this. All right, so I hear sud. Okay, sud, den.
Oh, there's two D's.
Okay, sudden. Because if I only had
Suddenly?
one, if I only did this, that would be a nonsense word. What would that be?
Sud.
Well,
Wait, no. Sued.
it would be sued, right? So we need two D's. Okay, I'm going to chop it right in the middle between those two D's. All right.
I wrote something.
Okay, very good. And then you put the derivative at the end. Okay, now we're going to go with the hardest one of them all. The absolute hardest one.
Derivative.
Yeah, this is the last one. All right. This is actually going to have two. So you're going to write one suffix.
I'm guessing one is EST. Just guessing.
You might be right.
Yeah.
You might be wrong. And then you're going to write a comma, and then you're going to write the other one. So listen to the whole word first. Okay? Cautiously.
Oh, I know.
What do you think?
I forget.
Okay. Oh, you hear the aw sound? All right. And then you hear this, and you hear this, and you hear this.
Yeah.
Holy cannoli. Oh my gosh. So first let's figure out what are the suffixes we hear. Cautiously.
Wait.
What do you think? Okay, let's think about the ending, right? Because we'll come back to the base word. What's the cautiously? Okay, let's start with L-Y. That's the ending. That was a good reasoning. L-Y, and then put a comma. Now, if I took L-Y off, what would I have then? Cautious, right? Okay, so let's put O-U-S. Okay. All right, Now, this is kind of tricky, all right, because cautious really is a base word, okay? But I wanted you guys to hear this because it gives meaning. All right, so you guys are hearing it. That's right. Okay, so let's do it. So we want to tap when we write. So we've got, right? So it's going to start with the C, so we can start writing that base word together. You can join us too, Harper. So, and you guys are already telling me big time. Aw is spelled this way. All right? T-I. Oh my gosh, you guys rock. Cautious.
T-I-O.
How's that? O-U-S. And I ran out of space. So this is the base word.
L-Y.
Mm-hmm. Right. So when you write the derivative, it's all of this plus L-Y in the far column. You can do that for me? Oh my gosh, you guys are awesome. I'm going to leave that there. I know it's a big long word, but you know what? If you break it down, it's not hard, is it? Not at all. All right. So I want you to put your pencils on the table. I'm going to give you the book. And if we find some more words, here you go, Harper. If we find some more words that we want to add to this chart, we can. But for now, I just want you to set it aside and set the pencil aside. All right. So let's go ahead and let's go to chapter 48. And I need your help on something, okay? I have not read this book. Page 48. I said chapter 48. My bad.
I was like,
Chapter 7, page 48, please. All right. So here's what I need help with. Is this a fiction or a nonfiction book?
Fiction.
Fiction. So I know if it's a fiction book, it's got these things. Character, problem, setting, right? I should have said that after character. Character, setting.
47.
Page 48, actually. So it's chapter 7, page 48. So character, setting, problem, solution. I haven't read this book since I was in probably 4th grade. So I don't remember a lot of it. So help me out at this point. Who are the characters that you know of? Okay, what do you think, Trenton?
Henry Green and and Miss Kimmelfelder and
I'm just gonna write Miss K. If that's all right.
and Mr. Penguin. We call him Mr. Penguin.
Okay, I like that. Okay, so those are kind of your main characters. All right. So would Henry be the primary, like the main character?
Yeah.
What can you tell me about him? Like I need a little bit of background on him. What do you think, Harper?
Oh, maybe.
If he was a kid in your class, how would you describe him?
He eats a lot of chocolate.
Oh, so he's like obsessed with chocolate. All right.
Yeah, because it has the book or like a page tells like chocolate.
Yeah, because it's called Chocolate Fever. All right. Anything else? Like, what about his personality? Is he silly, nice, mean, kind, funny?
He
So
doesn't listen. He doesn't listen.
Oh, he doesn't listen. Oh no. Okay. Oh, I wonder if that's going to be part of our problem. All right. So what's our setting?
School.
It's at a school. All right.
Yes, school.
Okay.
Nurses.
The nurse's office. Okay.
And,
So
hospital.
chocolate fever.
And in the hallway too. I've seen hallway somewhere.
Okay.
No, it was like hallway somewhere.
Okay. So school.
And Mr. Fargo, Dr. Fargo too.
Okay. So is all of that part of the school?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So character setting now. Dun dun dun. What is the problem? Do we know yet? At chapter 7. What about that? Like, tell me what that even means. Chocolate fever.
In the schoolyard is a problem.
Okay. So chocolate fever in the schoolyard, or like, so what about chocolate fever? What's the problem? Trent, do you know? Like,
he ate so much chocolate and he got bumps and they all popped. Like,
ew.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
No.
I forgot about that. All right. So Henry
there it is.
Has chocolate fever.
I turned right into the page.
So it's, what would you compare chocolate fever to? So I hear bumps and they popped. Sounds disgusting.
It was like pop, pop, pop.
Oh.
You can see
it's
the
kind of
pop.
like chicken pox or something? What do you think, Harper?
They were chicken pox. I think they're like bubbles or
like little bubbles, chocolate bubbles. Oh my gosh. Okay. So at this point, every good problem in the story needs a solution. Do we have a solution yet?
No.
No. Okay, so I'm going to leave that blank because we got to be looking for that solution. All right, we're going to read a little different way today. Do you guys sometimes read out loud? Do you read silently? How do you read? Okay.
We read out loud and we go like boy, girl, boy, girl.
Well, guess what? Here's what we're going to do. It's going to be a little fun, but you're going to keep on your toes, okay? So sometimes we're going to read all together. But if we get to the period and I call your name, that's your sentence and you're going to read it. And then if I call somebody else's name or I say together, then that means we all come back together. All right, so here's one thing you need right here. See this? You know what this is?
Number 1. Pointer finger.
Your pointer power. That's exactly right. So one thing your pointer power is going to do is help us all stay together. The second thing your pointer power is going to help you do is when you come to these big words like this, if you need to cover up the suffix, or like when we had the word sudden, you need to chop a word in half. This is like your little axe. Chop that word in half so you can read it a syllable at a time. Okay? All right, so we're going to start off together. This is going to take a little practice. Yes, Harvard.
I see cautiously.
Already?
Yeah, it's right. It was the first sentence.
First paragraph. Look at that. All right, so we're already prepared for that. That's fabulous. I bet you'll find it.
I see suddenly too.
Oh my gosh, look at you. You guys have eagle eyes.
Cautiously.
All right, so chapter 7 in the schoolyard. Everybody got your pointer power ready? Ready? Let's read together. It was almost 2 hours later now, and the sun was somewhat lower in the sky. Henry looked cautiously out of the garage, saw no one, and started on his way. Harper.
He walked for a long time trying to stay on side streets and being careful to avoid attention.
Everyone. It was not easy. People kept staring at him. Trenton?
Henry ignored them and kept on walking. In the middle of the street down which he was walking stood a school.
Let's try that one together because I was having a hard time with it too. In the middle of the street down which he was walking, there should be a comma there, stood a school. All right, together. Henry could see lots of boys playing in the schoolyard. Katie.
He decided to walk through the yard to get to the next street.
Together. As he started through, all the boys stopped playing basketball and pitching in and roller skate hockey to look at him. Trenton.
It was as if all the noise and action had become frozen, like a movie or a TV show that stops suddenly.
All right, let's actually stop there. So let's think. Where is he right now?
The park.
He's like in a park. All right. So yeah, he's at a park that's by a school, right? At the playground.
I found another one when we were learning about that.
You did?
You tell us it's through.
All right. So I want to take a minute before we. Oh yeah, it was in that paragraph. Oh no, it's the next paragraph. All right. So I want you to think about this. They used a really good description, and they talked about it was like in a movie or a TV show that stops suddenly. Can you imagine that? Like here comes Henry. He's on the playground. And what do all the other kids do?
Just freeze in their tracks.
Why did they do that?
They probably call it weird and stuff.
Yeah, because he has like these oozing chocolate blisters all over him. Oh, that'd be kind of creepy, right? Like, what's wrong?
Yeah, when you said that, my pencil did.
Oh, all right, Harper, why don't you start us off here? Go ahead.
Henry kept going. As he was about halfway through, just about in the middle of the yard, the kids seemed to come to life again.
Together. In less time than it takes to tell about it, he was surrounded. Henry looked around him. Harper.
All the boys started back.
Well, let's try that again. That wasn't quite it. All the boys. Yeah, take off the ED. What's that word? Take off the D.
Started.
I see a silent E there. Stare, yeah, stared back.
All right. They had formed a tight circle around him. Henry didn't like it.
Caden.
One of the tallest boys who looked a good deal. Wait.
You're right.
Older than Henry spoke up. Boys, are you ugly? he said.
All right, I'm gonna stop for just a second. So when you read, I heard boys, which would have a consonant suffix s, right? But he said just boy, right? So that's gonna change the meaning a little bit. So let's think, how would he say that? So there's this tallest boy, and he's talking, and he's saying that. How would he say that with expression? He's not very nice. How would he say that to Henry?
Like with a boy smirk on his face.
Yeah, smirk. I love that. Yeah, so he'd be like this, right? And then how, like, kind of like act it out for me. How would he say it?
Boy, you're ugly. Or something else.
Yeah, would he just say it real nice?
Boy, you're
and kinda
ugly
like
like
that? Boy, you're ugly. Just like that?
No.
I see an exclamation point.
Like
Boy, are you ugly? Like a lot of emphasis on each word, right? Boy, are you ugly? This
Like,
is-
boy.
yeah, right?
like a boy.
Boy, are
Yeah.
you ugly. All right, so at the end of that paragraph, we start, next paragraph is very short because it has a quote. It starts with the word yeah. Can you read that for us, Trenton?
Yeah, I lost where we were.
That's okay. So about
Yeah.
a little bit lower than halfway through the page, the word yeah.
Said another boy in the crowd. Really ugly.
Oh my goodness,
Ugly.
together. Let's read that next one.
Ugly.
Ugly, echoed another boy. Caden?
I'd better be polite. Wait, is that polite?
Yeah, it is.
Henry thought, excuse me, he said in a quiet voice, could I get through, please?
Together. So
The
boys
boys
didn't
didn't
move. Uh-oh. I like that, Harper. You're like, they didn't move. So did you notice before we turn the page, those words, I'd better be polite, how they look different from the other print? Did you notice that? Can you
It's
find
called
that?
italicized.
Oh, it is italicized. Do you know why they do that? Yeah, so look at, can you find that in the book for me? Put your finger under that so I know you're looking at it. So what words come after I'd better be polite?
Henry thought.
Ah, you just found the clue, Trenton. Henry thought. So if someone's thinking something, how do they show us that in the book?
They would italicize.
It's italicized because when we do quotes, Harper, how do you write a quote but what something's actually saying?
You can write it like in like marks and like expectation marks.
Quotation marks, like for the quote. So like you open somebody's mouth and you say what they say and then you close their mouth, right? But his mouth isn't opening for that, is it? It's in his head. So that's how they show us that. All right, we're gonna read probably one more page, see how our time's going. All right, we're doing great. Let's start together at the top of 50. Here we go. The big boy, who seemed to be a leader, spoke again. Harper.
I've seen pimples before, but those are ridiculous.
Trenton.
They're not pimples, another boy said. They're warts. Yeah, warts, said another. They gotta be warts.
Caden.
Now all the boys were speaking of ugliest warts in the whole world.
Harper.
In the world, man, they are the ugliest warts in the universe.
Trin.
I thought I seen ugly kids before, but this one is out of sight.
Together. Horrible, disgusting, revolting, and he smells too, a fat boy with glasses said. Yuck, like a stupid candy factory. All right, let's look at this one. This is tricky. Nauseating. Nauseating. Good. Yeah, so do you know what nauseating means?
No, I've heard it multiple times.
Okay, so if someone is nauseous, do you know what that means?
Yes, like they
It's
are about to throw up.
They're about to throw up. So if something is nauseating, then it's making
ready.
someone,
Getting ready to throw up.
yes, it's about to make somebody puke, right? Or what do you feel about like how they're treating him?
It's like
Yeah, very mean, right? So how do you think Harper feels at this point? I just said Harper. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean
Henry.
Harper. I meant Henry. How do you think Henry feels at this point?
pretty bad.
Yeah. Has he been getting this treatment in previous chapters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause one time, like down there, when I was telling you earlier,
Mm-hmm.
like a doctor. He went to like a doctor, and they popped his bones, and then I guess they grew back.
Oh gosh. Okay. All right. Let's resume after the word nauseating. Ready? Together. Everybody got it? I'll know where your finger's there. Ready? Okay. The more the boys called him names, the worse Henry felt. He opened his mouth to say something, but nothing came out. Harper.
The big boys in the crowd held up his hands to
Sigh.
The
Sigh.
other, quiet down, you guys. He said, I want to talk to Mr. Ugly here.
Trenton.
And a few more moments, the crowd was silent. No, then the big one said, "You, Mr. Ugly, what's your name, kid?"
Okay.
Before Henry answered, he thought carefully. He looked ashamed of himself and the way he looked, but he was even more ashamed. Of the gaining. Wait, what?
Yeah, let's look at that one. G. And then we know ang just says ang, right? Like in bang or bang. Gang. Around him. I'm going to stop there for a second. So he was ashamed of himself, which that makes me feel bad for him. He can't help it, right? But he's even more ashamed of the gang around him. Like, help me understand that.
But there could be something going on with like their parents and stuff, and that's
Okay.
probably where they're being mean.
Okay, so they come to the playground like just grumpy and angry, and so they're just choosing him to kind of pick on. They're being bullies, right? So he already recognized these guys shouldn't be acting the way they're acting, right? All right, so let's continue. All right, Harper, can you lead off? The sentence is how. Do you know where we are? If you don't, that's okay. Let's all go. So we have the word gang around him, right? Yeah. So let's get our pointer power back out. Trenton, can you find your pointer power and put it back there? So we just finished the sentence gang around him. Okay, so you got it? How?
How dare you? How dare they act so mean? He hadn't harmed them, and now when he could
Yep, you know what? First, we're going to chop off the ly. Let's cover that up. Now, here's the tricky part. I know CE can actually make a different sound. Sir. All right, now work your way through. Sir. Certainly. Right. And now when he could certainly.
Friend, they can certainly mark him as an enemy.
Yeah, you know, that was full of some real tricky words. Let's see if we can read that one all together. So, and now, when he could certainly use a friend, they had clearly marked him as an enemy. Who had marked who as an enemy? What do you think?
The boys
Okay.
marked him as an enemy.
Marked Henry as an enemy. Does that seem fair to you guys?
No.
No. Is it, like, I think maybe to your point, they're just being bullies, right? Yeah. All right. So let's go together, right? Henry. Here we go. Henry got angry, but kept his anger firmly under control. Caden.
My name is my own business, he said. It's none concerning of yours.
All right. So I didn't see ing on there. So what would that be? Just the base word. It's no.
No. Concerning?
Yeah, you actually said the right word when you said concerning.
Concerning.
We just want to take ing off. So concern. Yeah,
Concern.
it's no concern of yours. All right, Trenton.
The gang hooded.
Yep, cover up the
Hooted.
suffix. Hooted. Mm-hmm.
And shouted at Henry. Reply, a few even whistled.
Harper.
Don't be fresh, kid. The big boy said we don't like fresh kids here.
I have to ask a question. When I think of fresh, I think of like fresh vegetables or fresh fruit, right? Is that what they mean? Yeah, let's hang out for just a second, Harper. I do want you to read that, but what do they mean when they say we don't like fresh kids here? What do you think, Harper?
Like nice kids or like silly kids or like
Okay, so nice, silly.
funny kids. Maybe.
Okay, oh, maybe they think he's being like kind of funny. What do you think?
When I think of fresh, I think like just nice.
Oh yeah, like fresh. Well, is he being that in this story?
Hello.
No. So okay, so we got to think back. I'm gonna go back a little bit. What was the last thing he said to them? I think you read that, Caden.
I did.
My name is my own business. It's no concern of yours. So how do you think? How did he look when he was saying that? Like, yeah, kind of like a little attitude. My name is my own business. It's no concern of yours. So they're now calling him fresh. So what did they? What do you think?
Like he has an attitude.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's being like sassy. Like has your mom or dad or grandma or grandpa ever said, "Don't be fresh with me"?
Yep.
All the
Okay.
time. I love
All
it.
the time.
I'm so sorry to hear that. But you've heard people say, "Hey, you look fresh," right? And it's the same word, but it means completely different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So they don't want him to be sassy, right? Okay. So let's see if we can finish this up. So we were at the very bottom. Harper, do you remember where we are?
Yeah.
Yep. A fewer of the larger boys edged closer to Henry, closing the ring around him tighter. Let me hit him, Frankie, a voice said. Harper.
That another boy said.
Wait, what did the other voice say?
That's a huge
Let.
Henry
Right, start
thought
at wait.
quickly.
Hang on for just a second. Let's start with that very first one.
Another
Let.
voice.
Before that, it says,
Let
my book
me-
says, let me. Yeah, get that. It's real important.
Let me get him. Another voice
I
said.
love the attitude. Great. Trenton, go.
Henry thought quickly, touch me and you die. He said, I have a rare and mysterious disease. However, whatever
It's actually who. Yep, whoever.
touches me will catch it and die a horrible death.
Caden.
Wow. The gang stopped closing in on Harry. Oh yeah, said the big boy. You expect us to believe that?
Trenton.
I don't care whether you believe it or not. Henry said, you're bluffing.
All right, so I have a question about that. What does bluffing mean? What do you think? How about you all share?
Like probably like backing up and
Lying.
probably like backing up and
Okay.
like
he's
away.
lying.
Okay, he's lying, but he's kind of like backing up, but he's like, I don't care whether you believe it or not. What do you think, Harper?
Maybe like he's trying to get them not to like be mean to him.
Yeah, so he is kind of maybe lying a little bit to kind of protect himself, right? So bluffing. All right. So the next word that we want to read, it has the word bluffing, but it's in a question mark. So let's read it like that. Bluffing? Right. So when we read a question, our voice goes up on the end. Bluffing? Together. Henry said, touch me and you'll find out if I'm bluffing. I have chocolate fever. Let's say that with emphasis. I have chocolate fever. One of the most horrible and catching diseases in the world. Hayden. Did I say Hayden? Caden. I mixed you, put you guys' names together. Go, Caden.
Chocolate fever
A chew. Wait.
Let's take off the ed. What do you see there?
A chew.
Yeah, you know what? That ch can make other sounds. Ch can also say k, like in school. So o. Echoed.
Echoed.
Yep.
The big boy, you're making it up.
Harper.
Henry could see that he had the crowd on the run. Chocolate fever is the worst disease ever discovered on Earth. He said, "You know what happens if you get chocolate fever? Your whole head sweeps up, your mouth gets dry, you break out in big chocolate spots like me, you begin to look ugly."
And if you'll read that last sentence there, you'll finish his whole quote. And then
the really bad sniff began.
yeah, let's check that one again.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Good. All right, Trenton, go.
The boys were listening closely now, and the circle around him was beginning to widen as the gang started to back away. "He's making it up, fellas," Big Boy said. "Don't listen to him." But the boys were listening all right and believing every word.
Together. Henry began to walk toward the boys. As he did, they made way for him. Slowly, a path opened, giving him room to get by. Can you guys imagine that? Can you imagine like that they're giving him room, they're backing off?
Always.
Yeah.
My uncle, because my uncle's 11 and he
Has chocolate fever?
no. No.
Yeah.
He won a world, he won a boxing match, so nobody wants to fight him no more.
Oh, and so they all kind of give him space?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I love that you're making that
He's
connection.
from Brimfield, so there's pretty big fighters there.
Oh.
And he's only 11 and he took down a 23-year-old.
Dude, okay. We are so close to finishing this chapter. I think we're going to finish it today, so let's do that. So we're starting off where it slowly a path opened, giving him room to get by, and we're starting with a quote where Henry's talking. So let's read it together. I don't want you to die, Henry said as he passed through the ring of boys. So you just better let me be on my way. None of the boys tried to stop him, even Big Boy, as Henry passed close by, made no move to touch him. Trenton.
No room to touch
Him, right?
Wait.
Yeah, made no move to touch him. So the last paragraph, just
as Henry neared the outer ring of boys, he heard one of them exclaim, "Hey, I know who he is. I heard it on the radio when I came home from school.
Harper.
There's a kid."
Yep, it's okay. There's
A kid who ran away from hospital this morning, and the police are looking for him. Is his name Green? Big Boy called out as Henry kept walking. Is that you, kid? Are you Henry Green? Henry Green? Henry called back over his shoulder. Never heard of me? Just the same as soon as he was clear out of the schoolyard, he broke into a run and didn't stop until he had left the gang far behind him.
excellent job. All right, so if I look back at this title, In the Schoolyard, do we understand what happened in the schoolyard today? Oh yeah.
This kid almost. Whoa!
He
Look
almost-
back.
Looks like it. Looks like it.
Did they go to the zoo?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
think
went
they did.
to the zoo.
Yeah.
Where's my sis?
I don't know, but you know
Where's
what?
my
You guys
sis?
did a great job. You can